Show. My name's Ethan Tusi, and today we have a very special guest. He has his own show himself. It's called Sports Feuzion. Please welcome Alex Feuz. How are you doing today?
Hey, Ethan, my man, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So the first question I wanted to ask you is how do you feel about the John Stewart passing today?
Well, John Saunders was a big mentor to me. I watched him every Sunday mornings on ESPN. And Gucci Mane, who I follow on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
tweeted out today, young students, take this from John Saunders. Number one, be nice to everyone, which I think everyone should do.
Mm-hmm.
Two, laugh and have fun. It's sport. And three, don't make rage an act. Mean it.
That's
And
awesome.
the last one, I really do try to do. I'm not going to get mad for viewers on my show on Sports Fusion. I'll get mad if I'm mad about what I'm talking about. I'm not going to do it just for viewers. So I agree with every three things that Gucci Mane said about John Saunders. So, I mean, John Saunders was a mentor to everyone at ESPN that went there after he started there, and it's such sad news to hear about the passing of him.
Yeah, it is. I wanted to ask you, what is your opinion on Alex Rodriguez and Mark Teixeira retiring? Obviously, Mark Teixeira is going to retire at the end of the season. Alex Rodriguez is going to retire on Saturday. So, what is your opinion on that?
Well, with the Alex Rodriguez retirement, it's basically a forced retirement that he gave Alex Rodriguez an option, and he did take it. But he was basically forced into this retirement. So with Alex Rodriguez, his last game will be Friday night. Now it's interesting to point out it is close. There's a 70% chance of thunderstorms Friday night. So the main question I have for the Yankees, if the game gets canceled, what happens? Does A-Rod leave Friday and doesn't get his last game, or does he leave Saturday? That's a question that I have. Also, with Alex Rodriguez coming back as the team advisor for next season, the Yankees are basically getting rid of Alex Rodriguez nicely. And what I mean by this is they're making Alex Rodriguez come back, but they're making him work for it. So he's not sitting at home at Miami for the next season if he doesn't play baseball again, which is an option for him for sure. He's not just sitting at home in Miami for $20 million next year. They're making him come to the ballpark every day and mentor the prospects in the Yankees organization and the younger guys.
Yeah.
So the Yankees are still making him work for that $20 million.
Yeah, and oops, sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
No.
Oh.
Mark Teixeira, you mentioned earlier in your question about him retiring. This is his decision. His contract is up at the end of the season. Is it surprising for a 36-year-old baseball player to retire? Not really. He's had a lot of injuries, and we just saw a Prince Fielder. He's actually younger than Mark Teixeira, and he announced his retirement. He is not able to play anymore. His doctors aren't going to clear him. So you have Mark Teixeira and Alex Rodriguez, where you can't really compare with the retirement of each other, because Alex Rodriguez, number one, is 41 years old, and he wants to play, and Mark Teixeira went on his terms, and Alex Rodriguez went not on his terms. But I mean, Mark Teixeira, he did not have a starting position on the Yankee team come next season with Greg Bird coming back from injury.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really any room for Mark Teixeira on the opening day roster next year. Now I am surprised. I was thinking maybe he would go to a different team because he is also, like Alex Rodriguez, very knowledgeable of this sport of baseball. So it is surprising, but not really, if you ask me.
Yeah. So you've been interviewing analysts and players and stuff like that with Kent Rosenthal, Kurt Schelling. What has been your favorite interview on your show, Sports Feuzion?
Well, and thank you for that plug there. And I've been doing my show for 2.5 years now. I started doing interviews about 2 years exactly by now, and I don't really have a favorite interview. I have my favorite. Ken Rosenthal was my top person I've interviewed. Although Kurt Schilling was a pretty big one as well.
Yeah.
I also interviewed Tim Brando, who is the college football and basketball analyst from Fox Sports, and also my man Jay Harris is also a Sports Center host or analyst as well, anchor. I have a lot of great people I've interviewed. I love everyone I've interviewed. Every single interview was my favorite, even though I feel like I did not a great job during the interview. I'll still watch it and I'll grade myself, A, B, C, or D, or F, about how I thought I did as a interviewee and how I think I need to improve my interviewing skills.
Mm-hmm.
And I have some big shows coming up. I have the Mike and Mike producer on Friday. I have Brian Hoke, who is the MLB.com reporter for the Yankees, on tomorrow. I have a lot of big shows coming up. I have Todd Stottlemyre. You might know him. He's a former MLB pitcher. He's on my show next Tuesday.
That's awesome.
I love doing my show. And even if I don't get the most viewers out there, I love doing it. I appreciate you watching my show over the past few days. I appreciate your tweets, and it's always nice to see viewers and like my show.
Yeah, I'm just I was actually got followed by Dave Sims a couple days ago, and you retweeted your show, and when I was watching it, I was just disappointed to see how many subscribers you have for the content you're bringing out. It just really shocks me because you're interviewing top notch guys and you're not getting any views. So I was really shocked.
Well, and here's the thing. I'm almost at 500 subscribers, which is a huge accomplishment for me. And now, if I do, like my views have gone up extremely by a huge amount of numbers. YouTube filters out the viewers. It takes a long time for it to count. I'm not sure why. But on my part, I can see how many people are actually watching my shows. It's called real-time views. And actually, in the past 7 days, I've reached over 7,000 views.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm really, really happy with the amount of viewership I've gotten. Now, I screenshotted all of the real-time views on my app. It's called YouTube Studio, and I can go through all my shows to see how many views it actually has in 48 hours, and I've screenshotted them. And I also screenshotted what it says on the YouTube app, and I think the Dave Sims one has 9 views today, but in the last 48 hours, it has over 1,000. So,
wow.
I don't know why this is for YouTube. It might just take a few more days for it to count to the system, but I am doing pretty good viewership wise. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's good to hear that you're getting a lot more views than it shows on YouTube.
well, and it also helps when the people I interview retweet my show links because mostly everyone I interview has 10,000 or more followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
And actually, in the past 28 days, I've gotten.
Do you still believe that the New York Yankees can make a playoff push?
Now here's the thing. I believe the Yankees are at 500 right now. They lost to the Red Sox last night, and the Yankees waved a white flag a few weeks ago, or last week at a trade deadline. And I think the answer is no. The Yankees will not be making the playoffs this year. I think they are a 500 team. That's why they got rid of not just Chapman. That was not surprising, but once they got rid of Miller and then Beltran, I think that's when we found out the Yankees weren't going to try to make the playoffs, and they weren't going to try to sell people at the trade deadline. That's why they sold. And I think this is what the best decision was for the Yankees. If you look back at the roster from the beginning of the season, most of these guys are above the age of 35. You had Beltran that's approaching 38. You have Alex Rodriguez, like I mentioned earlier, and Mark Teixeira. and CC Sabathia, those four guys, they're aging, and what the Yankees needed to do was get younger, and that's what they did. They received so many great prospects in the trade deals from Miller, Chapman, and Beltran, and I think this was the best move for Brian Cashman, and to get the green light from that Steinbrenner family to really sell the team and become younger, and I think that's what's best for the Yankees. So no, they won't be making the playoffs this year, but I see the Yankees coming back next year being a real contender with a younger team, and definitely the year after. And I think they're going to try to get Bryce Harper too. So
Yeah, that would definitely be a huge upgrade to the Yankees.
definitely.
And then my last question is, I'm kind of being biased here, but what do you think of the Seattle Mariners team? Do you see them as a playoff team?
Well, I think with Nelson Cruz and Robinson Cano and also the great pitching staff, I think the Mariners are. I think they could be a playoff team. I mean, they had to play the Yankees, like we mentioned, and they're also contending. They are at 500. If they get hot, they can definitely be in the wild card mix again. But they had to play some really tough teams uh, in the next few weeks leading in. So it's really going to be exciting for the next few weeks as the Mariners are back in the playoff talk. I mean, last year they were in it, and then this year again, and it's very cool to see the teams become good again. Like the Astros, they've struggled over the past few years, and then they are coming back now. So it's really good to see the Mariners and Astros in the same division trying to come back and really talk to playoff push. But I don't think. I think Boston and Toronto are really going to be the two wild card winners in this American League division.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if those two were, but I mean, the Mariners are on a 5 game win streak. They're playing against the Tigers, and they've already at least won the series against them. They're 59, 53, and they're only 2.5 games behind Boston. So it's finally fun to see the Mariners at least put some competition into this playoff run.
Yeah, and just right before they got Robinson Cano there in 2014, I mean they were like 30 games below 500. So I mean the Mariners have really come back, and it's really nice to see this team become something. I think the Mariners are coming back now. They haven't. I don't know when exactly the last time they made a playoffs were. Do you know?
The last time they made the playoffs was 2001.
Yeah, that was
What
yeah, that was
116 win season.
mhm. Yeah. I mean, it's been a while for the Mariners that they didn't make the playoffs. So I'm hoping to see the Mariners make the playoffs.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you being on my show. Very
Yeah.
first interview. So this video will go out Friday on my YouTube channel, Seattle Sports Show. Thank you for being on, and hopefully we can connect as the months progress.
Yeah, Ethan, I wish you the best of luck with your new show, and thanks for having me anytime.
All right. All right. Thank you. So you heard it here, folks. We just had Alex Feuz on the show. He does a bunch of interviews with top-notch guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Peace. You guys heard it here, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed my very first interview and very first video on Seattle Sports Show. We had Alex Feuz on the show. He's a big guy, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys subscribe. Thank you. Peace.